We're in the Hankook tire booth with Zachary Deal's Land Cruiser. This is a first-gen Land Cruiser, twin turbo, 4-cylinder that I talked to him yesterday. He said even with 35s on it, this thing rips. The turbos spool up. There's plenty of power for all of you thinking that this thing isn't gonna have enough power. Now, what I really like about this build is the Descent off-road kit on here. This front bumper conforms to the body lines, has the integrated rigid light bar that is super clutch. And up top, check out this rack. I like how the rack is almost like a turtle shell, kind of comes across, gives you a little bit of extra protection. Still, you can load it up. You got the side lights right here, a front light bar. So when you're on the trail, this is really gonna shine. These are really clean side steps. And then on the back is probably the best part in my opinion. This swing out rear bumper, not only do you have a full-size spare tire, a power tank, a roto pack. Don't do this at home, kids. I got permission from Zach. This thing opens up, and instead of having a little clamp right here that locks it in place that always tends to break, you could soft close it. But real quick before I do that, check this out. An additional storage unit right there, pretty sweet. So when you close it, that's it. How sick is that? Both of these swing out, give you access to the back. Awesome build. Check him out, Zachary Deal. You probably know him from Instagram. Solid dude that creates some really cool content. And this Land Cruiser is mwah, mwah. We're in the ARB booth with a Land Cruiser with one of the coolest bumpers I've seen. This thing has a full brush guard. No deer is gonna stand a chance. These huge LED ARB lights. You got the Warren winch integrated into this thing, but check out the side of it. So if you're one who's worried about banging up your body, with this additional tube right here, you're able to protect everything up front and absolutely send it on this thing. We got a little PPF that might be from the factory. Up top, the base rack system with the nacho lights is really cool. Method racing wheels, and then you got some snowboard mounts up there, and then in the back we got a little fridge freezer. That thing is huge, takes up the whole back, but why not? This is the RPM off-road garage Land Cruiser, which is a little bit smaller than the Lexus GX550, but it's a really clean build. There's not a ton of aftermarket parts for these things yet, as they just hit the market, but this front bumper is super clean. I like how it conforms to the body of the Land Cruiser. Descent off-road on there, Baja design lights, plenty of light for you all the way up and down. You got a Taruka awning that pops out, and then I'm assuming that's a rooftop tent as well on top of the rack, which is a Pro Speed rack. That thing is really cool because of how low profile it is. That thing is not sticking up way up and out of the way, so you can load it up without being too top heavy. I really like this build. I like the Land Cruisers, and I want to know, should we give away a Land Cruiser? Let me know in the comments. This is the Dino Pro Land Cruiser. I love the color on this thing. You got some raised white wheels, which You got 35-inch Hankook tires on there, Beltec springs on it. You got some side steps that are Westcott Designs. I really like the rack with the 23.0 awning, KC highlights integrated. But what I really like about this Land Cruiser is the bumper. Check this out. Kind of hard to see, but you got the integrated KC highlight light bar right here, a Warren winch. I like this removable thing. Looks like it's heavy duty. You could bang that thing up, but also looks stock-ish, still conforms to the body line of the Land Cruiser. This is a really sick build. We got a Lexus GX550 behind us with a nice little solar panel on top. You got raised wheels, Radflow suspension. Looks like everything on the body itself is mostly stock, but you got a rack up here that I'm not sure what this company is. If anyone knows what this logo is, let me know. Really sleek looking rack. Molly panels on the side, rooftop tent that looks like it needs to be put out a little bit. The Lexus GX550, is it the next future of overlanding vehicles? I don't know. I like them though. It wouldn't be a every Toyota video without our 2024 TRD Pro Sequoia. This is Vulcan, the god of fire, and our current giveaway rig. On November 21st, we're giving this thing away, so there's still a couple days to enter. We got the CBI off-road bumper with the rigid 360 lights, one of one and Nosatech wrap. We just got back from the 4x4 rally to SEMA on the way to Las Vegas. We got the OEM side steps, the black Rhino Vol wheels, Vulcan tires, Icon, Stage 10, 3.0 series shocks with upper and lower billet control arms. This thing is a beast. I can't forget the Overland Rough Racks rack system, the Pelican cases, and more. This is a one-of-a-kind Toyota that you could win only by going to Forge 4x4. This thing is nuts, and I can't believe we're giving it away, but we are. On to the next one. This overlanding Land Cruiser is sick. For starters, you have the carbon fiber hood right here, enough lights to power a small city. You got a Warren winch on front of this Descent off-road bumper. Those guys do some really fantastic work. I like these little integrated turn lights in the bumper itself, and the Baja Designs little pod light right here. The fog lights are nice and flush, which is rad. You got LP9s, these things are huge. And then on the side, you got 35-inch Kumo tires, which I have never run those before. Wheels, we got the Volk racing wheels. Those are forged and super rad. The Dobinson's suspension setup with the adjustable reservoir shocks right there. You got some tube plates with the ROF, but up top, you have the Rhino Rack with the Kamek little hammock, or hammock, no. The Kamek awning that pulls out, but check out the back. This is another Descent off-road rear bumper, so all of this swings out. It's a lot of weight back there, but everything is really level, which I like a lot. I like this. Clean air access, okay. No, it's just for overland vehicles. So I don't think this is a clean air vehicle, but it has a V8, so that's nice. And check out this little storage solution. Yoda Tech opened this up. You got a little storage, Molly panels in there. I'm not gonna open it because it's not my rig, but it's pretty sweet. Behind me, we got a really cool Doetsch off-road build. Who knew that they were gonna get into the Land Cruiser market, but rightly so. Up front, we have the Rago front bumper that is really clean. I like the integrated KC highlight light bar right there. The color pattern on the wrap is fantastic. You got the KC highlights up top, and then this Rago rack is one of the cleanest ones that I've seen. Conforms to the body lines, looks really awesome, has Molly panels on the side. They got the black Rhino. I believe these are Sentinel wheels with some Dobinson suspension set up on the back. And then look at this Rago rear bumper. I think Rago is gonna definitely crush when this hits the market. Land Cruiser built by Doetsch Off-Road. Behind me is the Rocks Concept Land Cruiser by Toyota. This thing is rad. 37-inch tires. They chopped the back as an ode to the tradition of Land Cruisers having the open top. I think this could be a real competitor to Broncos and Jeeps if they end up doing a production model of it. The back flips over into a truck bed. I love the chopped doors on it. It looks really clean and menacing. 37-inch tires is a great setup for this. Even with the twin turbo 4-cylinder, you still have enough power to get those going if you re-gear. You got the full-size tire on the back. The interior custom work on the leather is fantastic. It's so clean and beautiful in person. I wish you guys were here to see it. This might be the best Land Cruiser build at the show. Westcott Designs put this thing together in 90 days. Pre-runner concept that has Sparco race seats, rigid lights, brand new rigid pod lights up here that are insane. You got a roll cage in the back. Everything on this is custom, including the long travel kit underneath. Really insane build in the back here. You got seating for 3 because you don't need 2 seats when you have that much suspension. You got the full-size spare in the back here. And overall, just like really clean build. So cool and fun. Westcott Designs did this in 90 days. That's wild. We're in the Toyota booth with a relatively stock Land Cruiser right here. The Prinsu rack is really clean. I like this Molly panel on the side. It's actually huge, covers the entire window. You got some Pelican cases on top, and in the back, we got this Yakima storage system, which is really rad. I could see Overlanders using this, really sweet. Overall, the Land Cruisers are rad. It's hard for me to tell the difference between a Land Cruiser and a GX550. However, twin turbo 4-cylinder versus a twin turbo V6, I'm gonna go with the Lexus. However, this thing looks pretty clean and is about $40,000 cheaper. All right, we got a 4Runner behind us that I guarantee you haven't seen before. This is the Surf concept that has a removable top. Up front, it looks like the new 4Runners, but in the back is where all the magic happens. The top pops up, mount some surfboards on it or other stuff, or just go on a great adventure with a family in your 4Runner that is also a convertible. Interesting concept. I don't know if they'll actually mass produce this. However, I think it's pretty cool and someone would definitely like it. This is the all-new 2025 4Runner with the Trail Hunter package. You got a snorkel right here. You got the back window that rolls down. It tows 6,000 pounds with the twin turbo 4-cylinder. I like these bronze wheels and the color is really rad. The 4Runner, let me know. Should we build one and give it away? I don't know. Should we? So the only Sequoia in the Toyota booth is this iForce Max Platinum Edition, the TRD Sport. It's not Platinum, it's a TRD Sport. You got a little bit of an overlanding setup here. I don't feel like it's that crazy. I like the awning with the Prinsu rack. You got the molly panels on the side. The hammock is pretty cool. That actually hangs on the rack itself. That tucks up and away. This is a pretty cool modification. I'm a little disappointed there's not more Sequoias, but if you want to see ours, just go to the Optima booth, and or probably already showed it in this video, but you get the idea. For you mid-size and smaller crossover enthusiasts, this is the RAV X by Toyota, not the RAV4, the RAV X. Built for Dakar and actually racing in desert environments. Cool little compact, but it still rips on the trails. I like the wrap, but overall I think they're trying to just eat away at the Subaru enthusiasts out there with this RAV X by Toyota. We got the classic adventure Land Cruiser here, very sleek, not a ton of modifications. This I could foresee someone wanting as a daily driver, but also taking it on the trails occasionally. You have a pretty robust rack system up here with some side lights that are cool, the KC Highlight light bar. I like those wheels a lot, very classy and cool. The little lines right here with the wrap just bring some nostalgia back. But overall, a pretty mellow build. It just looks pretty cool, and I think a lot of people would want to use this as a daily driver. The one that started it all, this vintage Land Cruiser, is very clean. Got some rock chips on there. You know, these guys take it off-roading. Not a ton of modifications or things to talk about on it. We just love our old Land Cruisers. Behind me, I don't really know what to say about this Modellista Land Cruiser. It is something out of Blade Runner. It looks very futuristic. It's an Overland Vision concept vehicle with a ton of armor everywhere around the vehicle. You got a really sleek rack system. I don't know what that does. Do you have a platform that you could dance on? I don't quite get that. The side storage / molly panel might just be some decoration. I think it's more of a concept vision as opposed to functionality, but it looks pretty cool. Definitely probably find it in a futuristic sci-fi film in the near future. Oh, Widowata, little Widowata. Hey, are you enjoying this awesome content? Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon because we're going to be producing over 10 videos throughout the course of SEMA this week. And if you subscribe and leave a comment in any of our videos, you're automatically entered to win a free Roam Adventure cooler. We're giving away a bunch of them to our fans and anyone who watches our content throughout the show. I'm in love with this Lexus. This is the GX550 with some Maxxis tires on here. You got Method Racing wheels in bronze. I like the mix between the white, black, and bronze that they have going on. The Nighttop front bumper is super clean. Look how low profile that is with some Baja Design lights right there. The rack is a Westcott Designs rack. You got some Roam cases up there, and then these Nighttop side steps are super clean too. Really rad. We bought a Lexus GX550 and it's gonna look similar to this, but a different color, and I'm really excited about this platform because it has the same powerhouse as the Tundra and the Sequoia, not the hybrid yet, but that twin turbo V6 packed into a Lexus GX550 is nice. Are you looking for a little bit more power on your Land Cruiser? Well, AFE has a solution with you. With the cold air intake, some charge hoses down there, you're gonna be able to get anywhere from 30 to 40 more horsepower and some additional torque. This is their Land Cruiser that they built for the show. There's a couple new products. This front bumper is the TerraGuard bumper. You could never have too many lights, and I like how if you were to hit something on the road, this thing is gonna take the brunt of it. You have the Momentum GT cold air intake right here. You got the Icon Vehicle Dynamics wheels, and then this is a new product, the TerraGuard side steps. Up top, you got a Lightner rack with some Lightner storage solutions. Looks like those lock in place, which is pretty cool. You got the Molly panels on the side for some roto packs, and in the back, you have the rigged spare tire carrier. I love this for the main fact that you could take it out whenever you're not off-roading. And in the back, we got the Nomad kitchen. You know we love the Nomad kitchen. We've ran it a bunch. A little Dometic fridge freezer that you could pull out. Really cool Land Cruiser build by AFE Power. We're in the Yakima booth with a Lexus GX550. Now, most of it is stock, but what's really cool is this rack system. Of course, you have the road shower on one side, which we've used a ton. But if you wanted to buy this from the factory, they actually make it with it, which is pretty cool. In the back, we got the full storage solution back here. If you are an OCD person who likes everything neat and tidy, this is what you want. Everything packed up, OCD on steroids. And then you have the full bike rack on the tow hitch, so you could just take that off. You don't have to worry about going around. And I like the swing out version, so if you have to get back here, you don't have to take the bikes off and then take the rack off and then do all that. This is all integrated into one by Yakima. Sweet. Love the Lexuses. Quick note, the reason why we're putting Lexuses in the Toyota videos is because Lexuses are owned by Toyota. It's all kind of the same thing, and really they look the same, everything's about the same, so that's why this is in this video. We're in the Expedition 1 booth with a pretty cool Land Cruiser. I like this heavy duty bumper. It still doesn't stick out. You might have to trim the body a little bit, but overall, it's really heavy duty. This thing could take a beating. You got the integrated Warn winch right there, and then in the back, the Expedition 1 side steps are really clean. You could custom color these if you wanted to match the body of it. Up top, we got a high test rack system with a FSR rooftop tent, the diode light bar right there. And then in the back, this is one of the coolest solutions that Expedition 1 has, in my opinion. So this bumper system is really sick. We actually put it on our Tundra that we're gonna give away after the Sequoia. And what you do is you flip this up, this whole thing swings out, it locks in place, and you have a heavy duty bumper that you can mount a ton of stuff to without overloading the back of your rig. We put high tension springs on the back of our Tundra, leveled it out just fine. Overall, really cool solution if you want a full-size spare and a heavy duty rear bumper. We're in the TWG booth with a sick Lexus GX550. I am in love with these things. The wrap is a like crystal gray metallic. You have a full solar panel up top right here. SC Motorsports looks like the potential builder. Up top, you got the inspired Overland rooftop tent that looks like this whole thing flips over. It looks really low profile. Modded Toyotas on Instagram, roto packs on the side. I like this look, definitely adds some heavy duty heftiness. I'm not sure what rack that is, but check out this rear tire carrier. This both swings out, which makes it really low profile, and you got a Whittle Wada right here. You have the 5150 whips a little, probably either, you guys are gonna help me out with this. I'm assuming it's a mobile antenna extender, but I'm not 100% sure. On the side, you got some really clean side steps. Looks like those are up Overland potentially. I'm not 100% sure. And then we have the Dirt Life beadlock wheels, rad flow suspension, and this bumper is really clean. I like the aftermarket bumpers on the Lexus GX550s because they conform to the body lines, but really awesome job on this build. We're in the Rhino Rack booth with a Land Cruiser that has a really cool rack on it. Wheel and tire combo is like another Method racing wheels in bronze with the white finish on the truck. Looks pretty cool. Up top, we got this rack system that is super low profile. The one thing that I'd like to see is maybe something a little bridging this gap, which I bet they'll end up doing later, but not really a deal breaker when it comes to racks on it. Rhino Rack. It's got a mountain bike in the back too, but overall pretty cool. We're in the Ironman 4x4 booth with a really awesome Land Cruiser. Check out this heavy duty bumper with the brush guard. You got some Ironman 4x4 LED lights right here, an integrated Warn winch. That might not be a Warn winch, but it is a winch. And then up top, a really sleek roof rack with the integrated light bar. This is not that common to actually have a little cutout and have it look that good. So I really like what they did there. The wrap looks fantastic. These are some heavy duty side steps slash, skid plates that are going to protect your body. And then we got Method racing wheels. Ironman also has a suspension setup. The IM 2.5 series looks like it's lifted. Those are 35-inch tires. And then nothing in the back, but I will say these new products for the Land Cruiser are pretty sick. 2 thumbs up. Ironman 4x4. We got an inspired Overland Lexus GX550 here that has some really cool modifications. The brand new Vulcan Racing wheels, the rays, these are really sick. Forged, really slim and awesome. The Total Chaos upper control arms. You got the King shocks, the 2.5s with the fin reservoir in order to have some more oil in there. You got the Pro Speed rack. I love this rack because of how low profile it is, super aerodynamic. And the rooftop tent is inspired Overland raised stargazer tent that is super low profile, lightweight, and has a ton of room. That thing's gonna set up in an instant. In the back, mostly stock, but for the most part, the Lexus GX550 pretty much drives itself. Check them out, inspired Overland. We've got the Taturo 4Runner behind me. This is a really cool overlanding setup. I like this shower that pops up, and we're not using it, it folds in. The shower looks like we got a little portable water heater right here mounted on the side. The tent is an Overland King's rooftop tent. I like that over the standard clamshell because it gives you more room on the outside. Full-size spare tire. I like the spare tire mount that swings out, which is pretty cool. And then we got just a cool little shovel right there. Some jerry cans on the other side, and then Agency 6 grab handles. And of course, for lighting, you got the Elite Sentinel Triple R lights. Also advanced fiberglass concepts make this a little bit more wide body, gives you some additional clearance. Nice build, it's Fox shocks. Like, I could foresee myself owning this Land Cruiser right here because it's, you know, pretty basic on the outside, stock form, but then you got the Pro Speed rack, which I'm in love with this rack. This might be my favorite rack for the Land Cruiser now because it's so low profile and so slim. With the inspired Overland rooftop tent, this thing is low profile too. I don't like the tents that are super heavy and really big, even though they may be comfortable. Still, it feels like you have a huge weight on the top of your rig. You got molly panels on the side here. It looks like those are reinforced by some suction cups, but I think the biggest thing on here is that Pro Speed rack. We got a previous gen Lexus right here with some cool modifications. You got the off-road bumper up front that wraps around the entire rig. You got the drop rack system, which allows you to store gear, and then with a lever you pull it down, the whole thing drops down, really easy to access. The rough country jerry cans are pretty cool. We got mud Vance wheels on it, and then of course the RS6 side steps. In the back we got a full-size spare tire, rooftop tent, everything you could want for overlanding in a really reliable vehicle, Lexus. All right, check out this V8 Land Cruiser, the older edition, but this thing has been through some stuff. You got a huge solar panel right here, made sure to charge up all your batteries. I feel like you could live off-grid in this thing for a while. You got the Factor 55 winch mount right here. Looks like a Warren winch behind that. Baja Design lights from head to toe. The bumper is all Rhino lined. I'm not sure what bumper that is. Hand-cooked tires, and then the Westcott Designs side steps right here. An awesome winch, or an awesome rack with some side lights that will help you set up for camp. Even a little shower, some jerry cans, the Julka portable water heater, so you have a hot water shower. Full-size spare in the back. You got some jerry cans, a high lift jack, more max tracks, and a awning on the side. This is a really cool build that has definitely seen some dirt, and I love it. 2 thumbs up. I'm in the Attica 4x4 booth with a really cool 2017 4Runner. You don't see these very often at SEMA, but we got the ADV fiberglass fenders right here, the Attica front headlights, diode dynamics lights all the way around. I like these little accents, just little cool things that light up the campsite. Baja Designs on the sides to make sure that everything on the trail can be seen. You got the Attica 4x4 side steps that are pretty cool. The water port, this thing is cool because I believe you can pressurize it and then it also warms up on the trail, so additional shower. You got a shower right there, the Go Overland rooftop tent, a Witawata in the back, and then look at this spare tire carrier that actually goes into the tow hitch so you can take this thing off if you're not running it. Little propane tank, more stuff on the side. This thing was made for overlanding and I am a big fan. 2017 4Runner at Attica.